What evil are you planning to do with the heart?
You know what lies beneath, don't you? The destruction they will bring. Yes, the 100,000 Ators. And soon, that legion will be mine. I did already warn you though, did I not? The final festival to rebuild the world.
Are you planning another 3 days of darkness? You can't! The suffering you've already inflicted!
The 3 days of darkness? Oh yes. That. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. It would hardly be fun if I told you all my plans now, would it? However, there is one thing I can tell you. It's something much, much grander, I can assure you.
The heart of Artemigeir is of no use to anyone now, is it? The final Gladios was never held. The heart's been dormant for far too long.
Yes, it has been dormant for an awfully long time. And I see no particular reason to awaken it now either. Oh, but that's a minor issue. For simply destroying it will... Well, you already know what that would cause, do you not, child? But should you wish to see firsthand the merciless slaughter an ancient weapon is capable of, then just keep talking. Good. I must go now, and find the second step necessary to activate this heart. Who knows, maybe we'll bump into each other again. Oh, and if you intend to follow me, you might want to deal with this one before you do. Sentilutos has long contained the entirety of Seeker's malice, and he's been waiting to share it just with you. I'm sure once it absorbs you and your incredible power, it will be a fine source of energy for the rest of Ators. Well, do your best for me. Me and my 100,000 Ators.
She's going to activate them without the Dakimas? But how? How is that possible? Assistant! You need to chase that woman! The fate of the world depends on it! Not yet! Deal with this slippery one first! I'll head back and check the records again. Maybe I missed something. This isn't fleeing from battle. Call it redirection of resources. You've got this, right? This'll be a breeze for someone.
Production ongoing. Power supply status satisfactory. Ator production.
Power! Sentilutos, enter recharge mode!
Invader wavelength detected. Combat readiness increased to level 2.
No doubt in your abilities, Assistant. I was right to take my leave. I chased after you as soon as the Paradise opened, but there was no sign of Alezra. She's already made her getaway. Nor were there any signs of the architect of Sicracia. I wonder where he might be. Hurry up and insert that key! This is the final Soul Magia to obtain a hint from. But how does that wretched witch plan to activate the heart? Does she have secret records we're not aware of? Or Seeker's time capsule? This Soul Magia might provide the answers we need. Hurry up and insert that key! This is the final Soul Magia.
Last action. Heart of Automagia. Deciphering Decia's hidden password. Successful.
I know not how much time has passed since I brought the Heart of Automagia here, and not to Gladius. I discovered a command deep within the heart, and after much study, I've succeeded in deciphering it. There is another means of activating the Heart of Automagia other than the blood of fierce competition you spoke of, and that is sacrifice. To lose something of myself for something other than myself. I assume that Master hid this on purpose, and yet, why? Why did he hide it here? With this means of activating the heart, there was no need for him to engage and appeal to me. Was it not he, after all, that sacrificed everything to repel the Dark Invaders? He who watched as the world turned its back on him? Why? Why?
I wonder if Decia withheld this from the Dakimas because of how dear they were to him. He didn't care for his own life, but the lives of his disciples. They were clearly precious to him. Sacrificed, yes. Alezra already knew this. Of course she did. And I am now sure of it too. Alezra must have kidnapped all of the architects. These messages we found throughout the long, empty stronghold. Save me, get me out, and I'm waiting. They left those messages, but we've yet to encounter any of them. It has to be because the White Witch kidnapped them. That evil Alezra must be planning to sacrifice the architects to activate the Heart of Automagia. But wait a second. Another door just opened up. Yolanakia! It's described here as the forest which conceived the day. First the sun, then the abyss, and now a forest awaits us. We need to restock and get a move on. I'll hurry back and fetch Martha and Loki. They're probably still distracted by the exchange, those oafs. But if we just leave them there, they'll get all pouty and cause a fuss again. But most of all, we need to save those poor architects and prevent the heart of Artemagia from being awakened. Assistant! You're with this little genius until the end, aren't you?
Last action. Heart of Artemagia. Deciphering Decia's hidden password. Successful. Last action. Heart of Artemagia. Decipher. Last act.
I was promised we should have just left, not by the darkened.
Last action. Heart of up. Cradle operational at 100%. Seeker's Cradle operational at 100%. Auxiliary. Production ongoing. Power supply status satisfactory.
They just paid me to go find you, but looks like I made some easy silver. What do you mean by who's up? The clouds come over.
Oh, that was fast. You were already on your way. Oh, every day this inn finds new ways to separate us from our silver.
You! What in Ellion's waxed ankles happened out there? Now that you've made this mess, I hope you're ready to dig us out of it.
Now, calm down, everyone. How can you say the fault lies solely upon their shoulders? Were we not the ones who set that burden there? Of course, adding Jordine into the mix was unexpected.
Look here, sure we sent you out on that mission alone, but Jordine, really? Did the mountain air freeze your brain cells? Not only that, the Yenix! You just let him drink it down like a pint of mead, did you? What's that about? You gave him a solid beating in Calpheon. Why in the world did you let him traipse all over you this time?
Lothy, how many times do I have to tell you? The flame that Jordine took wasn't the Yenix.
Yenix, Phoenix, whatever the name was, it isn't important.
Of course it's important. The fact that it wasn't the Yenix is crucial. If it was the real Yenix, Jordine would have been burnt alive. Though, why did the people of Everfrost mistake it as such? Why was there an imposter flame in place of the Yenix? Not to mention, in the records you discovered, it mentions that the Yenix never made it back to Everfrost.
Well, that's an even bigger problem. What does that make the purpley flame, then? Double-crossing Jordine's now got his hands on some unknown power.
That's right, Luffy. We've no more time to waste. I'm going to recap our exploits into Socracia and Everfrost. Ataraxian, the great stronghold designed to fend off the Black Spirits, was built by Rux Maha and his 4 disciples, the Dakimas. In Socracia, we revealed the true nature of the Heart of Atamagia. The heart is capable of commanding the 100,000 Ator, as well as relaying thoughts and emotions between the 4 Dakimas.
If destroyed, Ataraxian will be assumed to have fallen, and the 100,000 Ator will be ordered to mercilessly slaughter everything in sight. A truly fearsome device.
And you just let it fall into Elezra's hands, did you? She pulled your strings throughout Vamalkia.
That's why we changed our course to Everfrost. Do you really feel no shame in being so judgmental? Weren't you just lazing about while Yaz and the rest of us were trying to save the world? All you have is your good-for-nothing mouth.
So again, what are you going to do about it?
Right, Elezra. We couldn't afford to be playthings of that witch any longer, so we went after her ultimate goal, the Yenix. So we sent our hero to seal it tight in Everfrost, but instead we found something unexpected where the Yenix should have been.
The Yenix. Libresca's death confirms the flame isn't within the bounds of Everfrost as well. Because if the flame burnt Kozarka of Orzeka and was then returned, Libresca wouldn't have perished. The people that left with Silverfront were called the Knights of Dawn, right? Where did they take the flame instead of returning it?
Seems like we don't have any options left but to follow the witch into Yalanakia. We need to stop her from activating the heart of Artemagia.
Yes, I think that much was already quite apparent. Thank you, Eden. The heart is activated by blood shed in fierce competition or sacrifice, judging from those messages. Save me. Get me out. I'm waiting. We can be fairly certain that Elezra plans to use the architects as sacrificial offerings.
But we couldn't just let her keep yanking us around like ragdolls, so Yaz did a little preliminary investigation of Yolanakia while you were gone. The object we found in Sakrakia, Yolan's Eye, was crafted out of light stones. They seem to have all come from Yolanakia. It's practically overflowing with them. So, Yaz requested Dalashane to investigate the matter further. You know, she's the last that recently got famous for her paper on light stones.
Would you mind striking out for the Forest of Seclusion first? We'll follow shortly after we've finished organizing these documents we received from the Society.
What you wanting around? What you want?
That's not possible. Bear with the Jean Martin.
Just astounding!
thing. If people thought I was famous now, just wait. You're asking where Yaz went and what I'm doing? I was dating the Sakrakian Lightstone that Yaz brought by borrowing the power of the Spirit's Nest. How? That's a secret. Anyway, what Yaz brought wasn't just any old lightstone. It doesn't contain any of the known elements. Earth, fire, wind, flora, or heart. Theoretically speaking, there can be no such thing as a lightstone without an element. If there isn't a medium to hold the energy, then it spirals out of control and goes boom! Oh, but it actually exists! And the more fascinating fact is, it's an 8,000-year-old ancient relic! Just who was this genius Yolu? Can you go relay to Yaz what I told you? She said she'll wait for you at the ancient stone chamber.
Super valuable? Could it be? Could Yolu have rivaled my genius? Let's not get hung up on that, assistant. It's been a while. I've heard all about your latest biggest screw-up.
No long faces now. I, the great Yaz, have already got it all figured out.
Oh, but that place. I was thinking maybe this other biome is the prison of Ataraxian. I'm fairly sure this is where Lesra had the architects imprisoned, so...
This time...
Confirming Overseer of Sakrakia permissions. Access to Yolunaki granted.